Guys, gardening is full of trials, tribulations, failures, triumph, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this year, my corn patches taught me a very humbling experience. My corn patch failed. And guys, I had no control over what happened. I'm going to share that full story with you. But despite the failures of my corn patch this season, let's grow like a pro. Hey there, nature lovers, welcome back to the channel. So in this video guys, I'm going to share with you the failures of my corn patch. In fact, I had 3 patches and all of them failed, and they failed because of too much rain. Yes guys, too much rain. You see, I had no control over what happened, and despite my tips and tricks and hard work on these patches, they still failed because there was just simply too much rain and they just could not recover from that. So I'm going to show you what the corn patch looks like and the impact that too much rain had on them and how I can plan for that in the future. So again guys, let's go like a pro. By the way guys, I am Sandra. If you're new here, thank you very much for your support. I provide gardening tips, tricks, hacks, and DIY for both beginner gardeners and experienced gardeners here on YouTube. So guys, let's go like a pro. So guys, this is what the corn patch looks like. You can see the effects of the too much rain. You can see that the corn stalks are very leggy. Not only are they very leggy, but they are also very feeble. You can see that as a result of the storms and the rain, and so that's what happened to them. They could not form any good or strong rooting structure because of too much water, too much rain. And they did not come up very strong because there was just simply too much rain. So if you notice, the stalks were not properly formed. They did not come up with any strength. They were very feeble, and as a result of that, they could not produce. And even though they are at this stage where the tassels are there, there's really no silk as such. There's no ear of corns. And guys, another impact of the rains is that it would have slowed down the photosynthesis of the plant. So because of that, it never got enough sunlight, so it never got to mature the way it should have matured. We had so many cloudy days and we needed the sunlight to help with the photosynthesis, with the greenery and the production of all of those chlorophyll to ensure that the plants develop properly. We never had that, and that resulted in very low growth. You can also see the yellowing of the leaves. The leaves became very yellow because of too much rain. So that is what happened because of too much rain. That's the impact that too much rain had on the corn patch. And so that tells you that this is a failed crop. It doesn't make any sense to hang on to it, and I can tell already that it's not going to come to anything much. It is a failed crop. And it's not only this patch alone. Remember guys, I had 3 patches and I was doing successive planting in hopes of having corn for a while, but that was not to be. And see, even where there is an ear of corn, it's very small. You see that lizard there? Another effect of the rains, guys, is that there was an outbreak of aphids. There were aphids everywhere on these patches. All the way down there you can find aphids. Aphids everywhere. And that's what happened when there is too much rain. It causes diseases to break out or causes pests, and that was the case with these patches. And guys, the rains lasted so long. They lasted so long. First we had a storm, and after the storm there was rain for almost a month, and it rained every single day and rained heavily. So regardless of how good your drainage is, it could not control that amount of water. And don't get me wrong guys, I'm always grateful for the rain, just that it was too much at this time for where the corns were, because they love rains at the beginning of their growth period, but after a while steady watering is good, but too much is going to cause problem for their root development. So that is the problem, and that's what happened why I lost all 3 patches. Here is another example in another corn patch of what the rains did to the corn. See guys, a lot of aphids. That's why you see the ants and I had to pull up quite a few of the stalks before because they were blown down. And that's another impact of the rains, guys. Not only was the raining season long and hard and steady, but it also came with a lot of winds. And you know how currents are, guys, when it comes to wind. They can be very feeble, and so with strong winds, they are going to be blown down. And that's exactly what happened to the rest of the crop. Right here, I had planted some beans in here to build up the nitrate supply, but that was just not enough to keep them steady. The rains really had them. They were no match for the rains, guys. These corns were no match for the rains. I'm going to just be pulling these up because it doesn't make sense keeping them. And here is an ear. The only ear that really came to anything was this one. Wow, look at this one, guys. So you see, guys, look at that. If we did not have so much rain, then we would have had a better crop. See the aphids, guys? So yes, guys, that's the one ear of corn that I got that was really looking good, and that tells me that if I never had a problem, then this would have been a good crop. And guys, this is what the one ear looked like, but as you can see, it wasn't properly pollinated because we have several missing kernels from it. But this is what it looked like. If it had all conditions working well, it would have been an awesome ear of corn, and it would have been a massive harvest. But grateful for whatever I got. And guys, I had so much hope for this corn crop. I thought that this was going to be my best crop ever. From the moment I selected the seeds, which was the king corn variety, and then I planted them out. So guys, I'm going to take you back to that first phase as I planted the seeds, the tips I gave you to ensure that you had a massive crop, and the updates that I gave throughout as to how they were progressing, and now to the field harvest. But you know what? We showcase everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly, which in this case is a field harvest. So guys, I'm going to take you back to that first phase as I planted the seeds, spade and rake, and I have already planted some of the corn here, but I'm going to demonstrate to you how I do the others. So see, some of them are already coming up. They have already been germinated. So in addition to finding a good location, a sunny location, we are also going to be choosing very good seeds. Very good seeds. So guys, it is clear that this corn crop has failed, so I'm going to be pulling them up. As hard as it is, I have to pull them up because I have to make way for new crops. So join me in this. Leggy stalks, very leggy stalks, broken stalk because of the wind. I also lost the patch behind me, but I had already taken out most of those, so lost that patch there. So I'm gonna pull those up in a little while, put them into the compost heap. They will serve another purpose, trust me. And see guys, even this one, the tassels are ready, the tassels are there, but it has nothing to pollinate with. There's no air coming out, no silk. And see, this is where it would have been. It did not form properly. So it doesn't make any sense to keep it. I'm going to use it for mulch. The rains also came with a lot of winds, a lot of breeze, and so it blew down quite a few of them, and I had to be staking them up and use trellises to kind of catch them up, as we say, or stake them up to get them firmer. But that was not sustainable because the rains came more and more winds came, and as a result of that, I could not maintain that. You guys, I've even tried staking them with these trellises, but it never worked. Guys, if you look behind me, guys, it's filled with butterflies and birds this morning. They're all over the garden. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing the cows in the lane, because usually the farmers will take them and put them where grass is, but I'm not seeing any cows this morning. Otherwise, I would have taken the stalks and given to them. So I'm just going to put them in the compost. Don't really like corn stalks in the compost, you know, guys. So those are some of the impacts of too much rain on the corn. The crop has failed. But as I said before, we showcase everything and we learn from our experiences. So just drop in the comments, guys, what have your experiences been like? And going forward, I'm going to ensure that I pay keen attention to the weather forecast so I can know when to plant, although that is not a guaranteed either. That is no guarantee either. But I'm also going to ensure that I talk more with other farmers as to when is a good time. But guess what? All of we get caught off guard because nobody expected all of this poor weather conditions. It's not every crop is going to be massive. Some we're definitely going to lose. We can all relate to each other as gardeners. We lose some and we win some. But guess what, guys? Even though we lose the crops, we learn lessons from it. So there's always something to be gained. Not true? That's right. So we'll pick up the pieces and move on to the next crop. So thank you very much for joining me in this failed experience at planting corn, and I hope next time we can have a better experience. Join me in my next video where I make preparations for the new growing season and we can plant together. So thank you very much, guys, for spending time with me. Also, please remember, guys, to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting, entertaining, and informative videos. I thank you for watching. Enough love until Mr. Uno next time. Wow, good. Bye, guys.